Hello everyone, you're very welcome to my channel. Thank you very much for visiting. Okay, so let's get into the cards. This is for the week starting the 18th of February through to the 25th, or from whenever you view this video. So things are coming to quite a large completion this week on many levels. We start the week off with a lot of ideas, a lot of things that we want to do, want to achieve, and we're thinking, oh, I haven't got enough time, I haven't got enough money. You're trying to do basically too much. You're carrying a whole load of logs on your shoulders. It depicts here, I'm going to take a photograph of this later on actually and put it up to show you. We've got a man here and he's carrying logs to his log cabin, and it's the middle of the summer. So what is he doing? You know, he's putting himself under unnecessary pressure. So he needs to put 9 of the logs down and take one day when he's got time, come back another day and get another one, complete that, and so on and so forth. But trying to do too much too soon or too quickly is just going to, we're just going to end up exhausted. Because a client and a good friend of mine messaged me yesterday, and she said that the Schumann resonance of the earth really went off the charts yesterday. So we may have felt that physically. I know I did. I was absolutely exhausted the whole day. It made no sense. I couldn't even get out of bed to take the dog out. I felt like I'd run a marathon. So that explains that. So we're obviously in the middle of a huge upgrade, as I said last week, and our bodies are really feeling it, So then we seem to be going through this big death of the old self, rebirth of the new. So it's like the death of an old way of life, an old way of thinking, old beliefs that we may have held dear to our hearts in order to identify who we think we are really breaking down around us at the moment. There's a lot of movement. Then in the middle of the week, there's people thinking or talking about moving house, maybe even moving country. People are talking to people at the other side of the world. There's a lot of travel involved. It's a good week, for a big flurry of activity is basically what I'm seeing. But I'm also seeing on a deeper level that these layers of personality, these layers of beliefs and thoughts definitely seem to be crumbling around people this week. And there is a fear there of basically feeling naked. What if people don't like me? What if people think this about me? What if people think that about me? But actually, we're coming into our power, because we've got the world card in the direct center of this reading, and that shows me that more and more people are coming to the realization that they are the orchestrators of their own reality and their own lives. I remember reading a book years and years ago by Barbara Marciniak, The Bringers of the Dawn, and she talked about holograms, and things like that weren't even invented in those days. She was very prophetic. And she talked about how we can create different realities, different timelines. I didn't really understand it at the time, but this is all really coming true. And this was over 20 years ago I read this book. And that's what I'm seeing here. It's that people want to be more of who they really are. They want to be themselves, and to hell with what other people think, which seems to be a continuation from last week's reading. But they're afraid. They're afraid to be the divine sovereign beings that they truly are, because of what other people may think. But that's not as strong as it was last week. Like last week, there just seemed to be this huge fear of, oh, how can I move forward? I'm just going to stay stuck. I'm just going to not do anything. But this week, there seems to be a lot more action being taken place, which is fantastic. Now, there does seem to be a few people out there listening to this that seem to have something to do with the courts. We've got the justice card. Someone's trying to bring justice back and balance back, whether it's into their own lives or into a relationship or whatever. But there's nothing to worry about. Everything seems to be going smoothly. There's a little bit of guilt, again, a little bit of hidden stuff there that needs to be sorted out, that needs to come out to the light, and it will this week. This is actually a very positive week compared to last week. Definitely a lot of action and movement. Some people are talking about going on a course of study. If they're not going on a course of study, they're learning stuff. They're more open. People seem to be a little bit more open. The heart is starting to open now. I'm going to move on to the Indian medicine card for the week is the dog. Be loyal to yourself, be true to others, and bolster your integrity. Well, I mean, that's great advice there, isn't it? I mean, a lot of people pretending to be people they're not, pretending to be someone that they're not, trying to impress other people. I mean, who cares what other people think? You know, people are either going to like you or they're not. And at the end of the day, you can swing naked upside down from the chandeliers. Not everybody's going to love you. And that's just the bottom line. You're always going to get people that don't like you or whatever. Well, just move on. You know, just move on if you don't like me and, you know, be done with. So really about being loyal to yourself and being true to others. That's not always easy either because, you know, sometimes you just don't want to offend people or hurt people's feelings, but you just have to tell the truth. You just have to tell the truth. Like, it's like relationships, you know, no relationship, I don't care if it's twin flame, husband, wife, friend. If you're not true and there is no trust, there's nothing there. You start lying to somebody, it's over. It's game over. You know, that person mightn't find that lie out for another 10 years, 20 years, but it sticks on the soul. It just sticks in their soul and you can see it. I can see it in other people when I meet them. Like when there's somebody sitting in front of me one-to-one, whether it's on Skype or if someone's coming in for a reading, I can see they're like little black markers all stuck to them. And it's, you know, it's just not worth it. So we need to just tell the truth whether other people like it or not. Okay? Now, we have the angel card of children. Now, I haven't studied this card before. That tells me that realistically we need to lighten up a little bit, right? Be more like when we were a child and everything was wondrous. You know, we walked out there and lay on the grass and we sniffed the grass and we picked up blades of grass and thought, wow, how fascinating is this? It should be still fascinating. Nature should be our movie. Nature and trees and forests and flowers and all of that good stuff. You know, walking on the mountains, walking down the beach. It's heaven. It really, really is. So if we just be more childlike and more innocent and more pure towards ourselves and towards others and just open the heart and be more wondrous about the miracle that is life, the miracle that is this breath, really. You know, because if you try to stop breathing, well, I mean, you can't, can you? So there's something keeping that breath going within the body. And that to me is truly fascinating and a miracle. Now, our divine guidance cards for the week is remain faithful to your ideals, but do not create problems by being overly demanding of others or of yourself. Go softly. So that ties in with the start of the reading where we were talking about some people are under an awful lot of pressure. They're trying to do too much at once. They're trying to pack everything in. Oh, it's got to be done by Friday or it's got to be done by Saturday. Just, you know, chill out. It'll be done when it's done. And just remain faithful to your ideals and don't create problems by being overly demanding on yourself. You know, be gentle with yourself. Be childlike. Again, ties in with childlike. Now, our last angel card, I was guided to pick an extra angel card this week, and this is Archangel Chamuel. Archangel Chamuel works on the pink ray of love, and being blessed with this archangel card indicates that you are now ready to open your heart to unconditional love. Nice. Love has no restrictions and accepts all people as they are, nor does it judge. True love is so powerful that it dissolves hurt, anger, and separation. Let love flow from your heart and touch your loved ones, those you dislike, and strangers. This creates a bridge of light which angels can move along to bring hope and peace. In return, your life will be blessed and filled with love. And we've got an affirmation here is my heart is filled with the flame of love. Now that's all very nice and peaty-weety and new age, you know. I personally don't agree with don't judge, because that's what's gotten us into trouble in the first place. If you don't judge another person, how are you going to know whether they're a good person or a bad person? They could even be a psychopath. A psychopath has no soul. It has no empathy, you know, for other people. So why would you send love to darkness? Darkness has its own, it exists for its own reason. And it's not here to be sent life or light or even life. Yeah. It just exists. It makes the light stronger. So you've got light. Light can't exist without dark and dark can't exist without light. So why would I want to send someone like Pol Pot or Hitler or someone like that? Why would I want to send them love? They exist for their own reason. So I don't agree with this. Oh, let's not judge it. Let's all just, walk around and love. That, look at what's happening in the world. Where did that get us over the last 2,000 years or so? When we're told, "Oh, turn the other cheek and just let it happen." I don't personally agree with that. If you disagree with me, that's totally fine. You're allowed. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Absolutely. So yes, be very loving to other people, be very loving to yourself, and exude your light. But there has to be a certain level of logic as well. There has to be a certain level of protection against darkness. You don't want to be just jumping into darkness and saying, "Hi, how are you doing? I'm going to send you loads of love," and then you end up drained, right? You end up completely drained, and then your head's all over the place, and you don't know whether you're coming or going. So on the whole, this is actually a very gentle, loving week. The only thing is we are coming into our power, definitely. So if anyone's feeling a little bit discombobulated, a little bit confused, a little bit tired, just realize that we are in the middle of an upgrade at the moment. And I do believe that, and I feel that very, very strongly. So there is this start of the death of the old way of life, the death of the old self, the rebirth of the new, the real you, the true you that's coming from the core of the soul. So beautiful week. Please like, share, and subscribe. Give me a little bit of support. And if anybody wants a reading, a one-to-one, which is much more deep, don't hesitate to contact me in the messages below. Have a great week, guys, and thank you for listening.